Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Trappist Sundays. So this one is Rochefort, Trappist Rochefort. Now, as we always do, a little bit of information about the Trappist brewery. So it's Rochefort. It's in Notre Dame de Saint-Remy. That's the abbey. They've been brewing second time round basically since 1899. So the current brewery has been running since 1899, but there was a brewery there long before that, and it just got reinstated back in 1899. Rochefort use water which comes directly from the Tridane spring, so it's supposed to be really, really good water. They don't add no chemical, well, no salts, nothing. That's the water you're going to get in their beers. They've got their very own house yeast as well, so they've got their own culture there, and they're keeping it going. So that's superb. They do 4 beers. They do basically by numbers and by colours of caps. So they've got the red cap, which is one I've got here, which is a Rochefort 6. They've got a green cap, which is a Rochefort 8. They've got the blue cap, which is Rochefort 10. And then they've got the triple extra, which is a purple cap. Now, I'm just trying to get the sticker off here, because this was £2.98 from my local bottle shop. Trying to get the sticker off so I can show you the number on here best I can. Should have done that before I started to record, but you know what I'm like. When I take it off, hopefully you can see that. And the numbers correspond to gravities. So the original gravity of this beer would have been 1.060. So, and then obviously the 8 is 1.080, the 10, so on. So this is their weakest, and this is coming in at 7.5%. And that's their weakest one, apparently. A little bit in my book, so let me grab my glasses for you. What for you, for me. What does it say here? Really interesting, this book. Rochefort is one of the most secluded of the Trappist monasteries. It is another settlement in the Ardennes, but unlike Orval, the abbey doesn't stand prominently on a major road, but is reached along a narrow wooded road. Perhaps in an attempt to deter visitors, the beer is labelled simply Rochefort rather than using the full name of the abbey. Rochefort is a small town near the abbey, and has many shops offering bread locally raised and made meats and chocolate, with cafes serving the local beer. The abbey has a history almost as turbulent as Orval's. It was founded as a convent in 1230 by Giles de Warcourt, the Count of Rochefort. The hard climate and grinding poverty proved too much for the nuns, and monks replaced them in 1464. Documents show that a small brewery existed around 1595 to provide beer for the community using barley and hops grown in the grounds. The monks were forced to abandon the abbey during the French Revolution. When scant attention was paid to the border between France and the Low Countries, the abbey was rebuilt in 1887 by Trappist from Acal Brewery. So, and then the brewery was opened 2 years later after that as well. So that corresponds with the 1899, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. That's 1889, I would say. The present brewhouse dates mainly from the 1960s, with some additions in the 1970s. It produces around 15,000 hectolitres. What else? Anything else of interest in there? So a little bit of history from the Brew Like a Monk book, which I love. I've read this book, love this book, and I keep referring back to it as well. What does it say about Rochefort in here? It says, Abbey Notre Dame de Saint-Remy, just outside of Rochefort, in a particular picturesque area of the Ardennes, has a monastic history stretching back nearly 800 years, a brewing tradition at least 400 years, and if you were to choose a single Trappist brewery to put in a time capsule to be opened 1,000 years from now, this would be a fine representative for all the abbeys. When modern brewing began in 1899, workers ground malt in a watermill and hauled it to the brewery. They heated kettles with wood, and mashing took 3 men 7 hours of continuous work. To regulate the temperature, they built a fire in a wagon that could be pushed under the vessels, then removed. The monks weren't concerned about producing a commercially viable product, just a supplement for the vegetarian diet. Beer quality improved after the abbey sent Father Dominique to the Catholic University at Louvain to learn about brewing. In 1910, his work won a Grand Prix award at an exhibition in Brussels. Soon the abbey began bottling and selling beer, producing about 350 or 300 barrels in 1920. Not until after World War II did brewing become the major source of income, but the course was set. Just says here, nuns founded the abbey in 1230. The Cistercian monks took over in 1464. Brewing began almost immediately, although written records note no activity until 1595. The beers, like I say, they're all marked with the colours, and that's also the opening gravities. There's an interesting thing here. The success for Rochefort had to rebuild its brewery following World War One. Chimay helped install new parts, but in 1950, the monastery ally became a competitor. After Father Theodore began to make improvements in Chimay beers, consumers bought them instead of Rochefort's. So basically, the Rochefort's asked Chimay if it stopped selling beer in their surroundings, and they declined, instead offering to help Rochefort improve their beers. So in the following 2 years, John de Clercq consulted on changes, and new brewers trained at Chimay, and Rochefort rolled out new recipes. So that's how really it took off. It's really interesting, all the little things that you get from this book. It really is. It then goes on about the brew house and how de Clercq suggested things. He said Rochefort takes its water from a spring, with the town drawing water from the same source. Water was a matter of pride even with de Clercq, suggesting cleaning up a nearby manure pile 50 years ago. There are old papers in the archive that speak of its incredible purity. While stony hillsides of Ardennes act as a natural filter, they also leave the water relatively hard and are higher in calcium and bicarbonate. Our water is irreplaceable, said Brother Pierre. So yes, that's a little bit of a background about Rochefort. Really interesting. Like all these abbeys and the breweries, they've got sacked and then they've been rebuilt. Chimay helped them out and then became allies and then competitors, and then they were saying Chimay was selling more beers, Rochefort's declined, even to the point where the spent grains, they wasn't getting enough spent grains because they wasn't selling beer to feed the animals within the farm of the abbey as well. So it's really interesting, but let's get this open. I'm going to try some Belgian chocolate with this, because this apparently, I think Rochefort 6 is a dark beer. I'm not too sure, never had it before. I'll soon find out when I open it. So let's get it open, let's get the aroma, and let's get the taste, and then do that taste on its own, taste with the chocolate, and taste by adding that little bit of yeast at the bottom. And there's the bottle top, number 6, red, as I promised I'd show you. Okay, I haven't got a Rochefort glass, so I'm just using my little glass here. Oh, it's not as dark as I expected. I expected a little bit darker, more like an amber. Let's make sure I don't get any of that yeast at this point. Okay, let's leave out a little bit in the bottle there. So you can see that. Got carbonation. That head looks like it's going to dissipate. That's half a pint, that's on the level there. Get the look is amber. I was expecting darker. I don't know why. I was expecting a bit darker than that. But that's a lovely amber, orange, dark gold in colour. Very clear. It's got a lot of rising carbonation in there, but it is a bottle conditioned beer. Like a very small, just off white head. Ooh, there's a lot going on there as well in the aroma. What did I say there? What can I say about that? A lot of toffee. And fruits, some fruity notes in there. I'm not myself picking up on like a Belgian yeast as such. And the aroma, it's more toffee, dark fruit in the aroma, which is absolutely superb. Don't mind that at all. So let's give it a swirl. Ah, there you go. Now there's that banana toffee. As soon as I swirled it, you're getting that banana toffee. yeah, brought that head to life, and then you're getting the banana toffee aroma, that Belgian yeast. Okay, cheers, let's go and taste it. It tastes just like I explained the aroma. Toffee's quite prominent. Toffee, caramel, and some dark plummy type fruits. Not picking up on that banana in the flavour now. The flavour's there. It's not that long lasting. It's a little bit there coating. There's next to no bitterness, which is fine. And that carbonation is quite strong. And that carbonation is, I think that's what's tearing away the long lasting. So it's not long lasting because the carbonation is quite high. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer at all. It's just very forward toffee and them dark fruits. And like I say, that carbonation just strips the tongue a little bit of the flavours that you're getting. So before you know it, the flavours have gone. For me anyway. Okay, let's try it. Some dark Belgian chocolate, because the darker ones are supposed to be suited to the darker chocolate. Great chocolate on my palate. If I'm totally honest, didn't really do anything. Not much of a difference at all. No change. It's washing through. The carbonation is just washing through. So I'm still getting that chocolate separate. It's not blended. It's not brought anything. It's not lifted anything. It's not changed the chocolate flavour on the palate. Didn't really work, that one. Not for me. Okay. Let's see if adding the yeast makes a difference then. Oh, it's got the Trappist logo as well. Authentic Trappist. I don't know what that means. It's, you can see the colour change there in that yeast. So the clarity's gone. That head's going to dissipate straight away again. Yep. So it's got the authentic Trappist product, which means it's supervised by the monks. It's brewed within the walls, and part of them profits that they get is spread out through the community of Rochefort and maybe a little bit wider. Okay, so that has just totally killed that head and just made it look very murky. See if we can rise that head again. You can actually hear. Can you hear that? That's how carbonated it is. It's really carbonated. So the yeast has gone in. I'll be honest, it does enhance that banana toffee aroma. That's the big thing there. Let's taste it. Cheers again. Nope. It doesn't seem to have changed the beer whatsoever, which is unusual because whilst I've been doing this, every beer I've had so far, taste without the chocolate or the cheese, then with the cheese or chocolate, and then with the yeast, and it's all three times it's changed. This one has just gone like this throughout. So without the yeast, with the chocolate, with the yeast, the taste profile has not changed whatsoever. It's just toffee, a little bit dark fruits. There you go. A little bit that banana, but it's really, really carbonated. And I think that carbonation is also killing the head. You can just hear it fizzing away. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer. It's definitely not one of my favourites, Trappist, so far. But I will revisit. I'll do the 8 and the 10 and see what if they're any different. But just saying that the 6 is okay. It's fine. It's not going to blow you away. It's not blowing me away. I don't know. Everyone's different. Yeah, I've had better Trappist beers, and the fact it's just killed the beer for me in the glass. Yeah. Don't know. Anyway, there you go. That carbonation is quite high. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. And I'll see you on the next one.